Well, boys and girls, this video is all about rounding. Now, I know we learned about rounding a little bit last week. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into rounding this week. Just as a review, with our trick for rounding. Now, with rounding, you always want to look in the ones place, at the number in the ones place. And if that number in the ones place is between 0 and 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're going to round down to the nearest 10. But if the number in the ones place is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you're going to round up to the nearest 10. So let's do one of these on a number line. Just to review, make sure you've got it, all right? So let's say that I have the number 22. Okay, so we're going to look in the ones place. That's this number. Okay, 22. Now 2 is between 0 and 4, so I'm going to round down to the nearest 10. So let's see what that looks like on my number line. So here's 20, 21, 22. All right, and I'm going to round down to the nearest 10, which is 20. Now remember that when you're looking at it on a number line, you can also look at which 10 the number is closest to. So let's look at 22. Is 22 closer to 20? Or is it closer to 30? Look at that huge jump I had to make to 30. That's definitely not what we want to round it to. We want to round it to 20 because it's closer to 20. So this week, what we're going to do with rounding, like I said, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Let's try to round this number. First of all, I need to switch up my board a little bit, all right? So I'm going to keep my 10 scale because as you can tell, it's scaling by the tens. And I'm going to fix this up a little bit, so bear with me for just a moment if you will. All right, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up the scale a little bit, okay? So instead of this being 10, let's have this be 110 and 120 and 130. Okay, now let's round a number. Let's round 127. What do we do? Uh-oh. This is a lot bigger of a number. What do we do? Nothing changes. You're still going to look in the ones place. You're still going to see where that 1 is. Is it between 0 and 4? Mm-mm. Between 5 and 7. So we're going to round it up to the nearest 10. Let's look on it. Let's look at it on our number line so it makes a little bit more sense. So 127, 120, 121, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Because I'm going to round it up to the nearest 10, that means I'm rounding it up to 130 because the nearest 10 is the tens place is going to be 30. So now let's look at it and double check to make sure that it makes sense on our number line. Is 127 closer to 130 or is it closer to 120? Definitely 130. So this week we're going to continue looking at rounding. All of our tricks are still there. Nothing's changing, except we're going to be using bigger numbers. So good luck this week and have fun.